Hey Coach, this is Coach Simpson. Appreciate you checking out my YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, maybe like the video or comment on any questions you have after you kind of go through this. Trying to grow this channel and just put out as much football content as I can. Of course, I've got a lot of information over my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, if you want more in depth. Wanted this video to be over what I call series-based football, which is obviously not something I invented. Very much a wing tee based mindset, which is one of the reasons I've been drawn over to that world. And a lot of what we run in the gun tee offense is definitely, made from the wing tee world. But I wanted to explain that because it's something I didn't know when I got into that world. I'd kind of grown up in the spread world, and while there's a lot of really good things in that world, this concept of building a series really wasn't that important, I guess, in the spread world. Where in the wing tee world, it very much is. So we've kind of carried that concept over into the offense that I run, and a lot of the offenses that you're seeing now across, really across the globe now, are running offenses that are series based. And what I mean by that is this: they have a base play. Usually, it's with a run. So a lot of times, series based plays are based off of a run. They don't have to be, but that's kind of where they got their genesis in the wing tee world and the option world. All of those things, that are series-based type offenses start with the run and they build from there. So, for example, let's say your base run and your offense can be whatever you want. If you see my shirt, you know that I'm a big buck sweep guy, but it could be power, it could be outside zone, it could be pin and pull, it could be whatever your base run is. So think about your offense, because that's the goal of this video, is really to talk about any offense. But whatever your base run is, that action you have. So if you're running, for me, buck sweep, or for maybe you for outside zone, or pin and pull, or even power, maybe more downhill, but similar, where the running back is crossing the quarterback's face, and then your blocking scheme marries with whatever your run scheme is. So that's your base play. That's kind of your bread and butter play. And if you don't have one of those, I would highly encourage you to get one of those. A run play that we're going to hang our hat on this run, and then we're going to build our series off of that. A lot of coaches are hesitant to do that. One, because you're kind of marrying yourself into a smaller playbook, which I think is a good thing. And two, a lot of times it's marrying your team into, we're going to be very good at this. And that run may change year to year. Some years we're really good at buck sweep. Some years we're much better at like more of the downhill we call belly, or a lot of people call like power insert. It can change, okay? But this is what you're going to hang your hat on. Off of that run, every offense needs to have these three things. And we're going to talk about these here in a little bit at the end, but you need to have a counter. So if we're going to run power, a lot of teams you'll see now that are going to run power are going to have something coming back this way. A counter play. We're going to run power, or we're going to run buck, and we're going to run the double handoff off of that, or if we're going to run outside zone, we may have a reverse off of that, or a quarterback run coming back the other way. A lot of teams are running like dart, or where they're pulling the tackle, or they'll read something with the quarterback. So whatever it is, basically a counter. I have the same action to a defense, because remember, for me, a goal in series-based offense is basically to trick these guys. We want to give them the same look and run multiple things off of it, because I'm just trying to confuse, these linebackers or whatever box fitters the defense has. And then off of that, you're going to have a play action. So you want this action, and now you're going to be able to maybe sneak a tight end down the seam, or sneak him across the field, or come back and throw something else, where we are giving this action to get the flow we want and taking advantage of that. And that's the goal of series-based offense. We have a base run. If you flow hard, we have a counter play. And then if you flow hard, maybe the DB or whatever, then now we have a play action. That's a series. You've now built yourself a series where we're giving our base play and we're protecting it. If you're going to stop our base play, we're going to be able to go to our counter to run the other direction, or a play action, and sometimes multiple play actions to attack you if you're fitting with kind of guys that should be in coverage. We're protecting our base, okay? In the offense that I run, we've tried to take it one step farther. And in the wing tee world, they're also going to have an inside run. If you have an outside run, so a run that goes this direction, so for example, we use wing T, it may be buck. Your offense, maybe it's sweep, and you're running power read. You kind of erase my drawings here. I'm running this, and now I'm going to have something where I'm running here. Okay, wing T world, that's where you have like buck sweep, and you have trap off a buck sweep that attacks the inside. So if you're in the shotgun, that could be, jet sweep, power read. That could be faking the ball here and a quarterback running some kind of inside run. It could be whatever, but now we're going to attack interior of the defense. So now we can attack the edge, the interior, and the counter with the same action from the back. Okay, and then a lot of offenses now have gone to the RPO game. And in my opinion, the RPO game is just an extension of the series-based football. So now, RPO world, in my opinion, is targeting one specific defender. So if we're going to give this action here, and let's say that guy is doing X, then we're going to use the RPO game to maybe throw a glance in behind him. Okay, or maybe we're going to run, they're fitting with this safety on a block with a tight end. So now we're going to run some kind of RPO game here and read the safety. So the RPO game is an extension of the series-based offense, but now instead of targeting the entire defense, we're really targeting specific people. And that's kind of where I feel football is starting to go. You watch at any level you watch, if we have a run, then we're going to build in a counter, a play action, an inside run, and then you're starting to get into these RPOs, the passes off it, or run options with, of course, power read, being a big one that's been around for a long time. But the idea is we're going to build a series in order for all of this extra stuff to work. So if you're a young coach trying to do this, because I've fallen into this trap before, we have all of this good stuff, but we're not any good at our base. None of the extras, counter, play action, inside run, even the RPO game, are not going to be as effective if you're not very, very good at at least running your base play. That's why I started off with saying, hey, that might be different for you than it is for me, or it might be different for you this year than it was last year, but you need to have a base run that you feel good about, that matches your personnel, that you can execute against anybody or any front with at least some success. And then off of that, we can protect our run by having a counter, a play action, an inside run, or get into this RPO game to protect our run or to create big plays if we're being very successful with our main run and people are having to over adjust to stop that. Appreciate you guys coming by and checking out this video. I've got several more on the channel. Feel free to search through. If you would like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Of course, I've got a ton of detailed information over at my website, books, videos, PowerPoints, whatever you want, it's over there. Appreciate it.